Hi traders, welcome back to the channel. So I got a little bit of jump in me this morning. I'm excited about this one. I've been wanting to do this video for some time now. I always try to keep it real and tell you about the struggles I had, particularly in the early part of my career. I hired a coach. I didn't have much money, but I knew I was going around the wrong path. And he helped me in certain ways, and maybe some ways he didn't, but he did plant the seed on the importance of trader psychology. At the time, like most traders, like, hey, enough with the psychobabble, just show me the setups. But he really planted that seed and really instilled in me to make that part of my growth plan. And really, when I look back, that was the key difference, really appreciating and allowing me to focus on trader psychology. Well, I couldn't do it without a team. So in this video, let me introduce you to my trader psychology dream team. Okay, traders, thanks for joining me today. It's an important topic, too, on trader psychology. And, like I mentioned in previous videos, I actually had to go back to work twice because I struggled. But really mastering this element, or at least gaining control of the element of trader psychology, was a key pivotal point in allowing me to, turn that corner. And I've had sort of a lot of virtual coaches along the way, and I'd like to introduce you to. One thing I realized is you can't do it alone. And these 5 professionals really got me where I am today. All right. Let me start with the first one in no particular order. All right. We'll go alphabetical. How's that? Who else will we start with? The one and only, the late Mark Douglas.
And what the pros have adapted, and the reason why they can do what they do, is because they have learned, not just learned, but they believe without a shred of doubt that they do not have to know what's going to happen next to make money. And don't even think about it in those terms. They don't even think about it in those terms. It's not a matter of what's going to happen next. When you understand the nature of how technical analysis, how your technical formulas and your mathematical formulas interact with market behavior and what they can and can't do and what their inherent limitations are, you will also understand that I wouldn't put on a trade if I wasn't sure it was going to be a winner is absolutely one of the worst mistakes you can make to be a consistently successful trader.
Gone too soon, Mr. Douglas. Just absolutely brilliant. I mean, what a great start. And a lot of traders have really used Mark Douglas's work to help them, with the intro to trader psychology. What I like about Mark Douglas's work is that he teaches this element of randomness, which is so important. I mean, I'm convinced that this is just one big game of edge. That's all it is, whether it's blackjack, roulette, sports betting. Trading the markets, I just really don't care what Powell says or interest rates. I mean, from a trading perspective, I'm just playing a math game here, right? And the markets really facilitate that game of edge. And all I need to do is perform properly, and I should have the outcome over a series of trades. So he also taught me about one single trade means absolutely nothing. It's just, you have to look at things in a series of trades. The randomness will take over a good portion of the time, and that's something you can't control. So really allowing me, and this is what he also taught, the ability to focus on what you can control, trade management, size, things like that. Once you push the button, though, I mean, it's the markets that are going to do the work. So it allowed me to focus on the pre-button pushing and the risk management that allowed me to get me where I am. So great job. I mean, can't thank Mr. Douglas enough. All right, next. Again, no particular order. We're going alphabetical here. All right. Can't have a dream team without Dr. Randy Howell.
People come from okay enough families, but what they've done in their families, they learned to have scarcity thinking. They learned that whatever they have can be taken from them. And you translate that to trading, and suddenly you really want a lot of confirmations to get in the trade. And when you finally get enough confirmation, the trade's gone. Okay? You'd say that's having problems pulling the trigger. The other big problem is that when you actually get into the green, one of the hardest things in the world is that, oh my God, I've got it. I need to take my profits down before they're taken away. That's scarcity thinking, and it comes out of our families and our genetics.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, thank you, Dr. Howell, for everything you've done. And, we've used him, Desire to Trade, have used him, Dr. Howell, for a lot of our work too. He really, Dr. Howell, to me, allowed me to focus on my mindset. And it's something that, again, I've discounted. I'm not a big meditation guy, but he kind of allowed me to open the doors for me to think about, how to be calm and present sort of in the moment. He really puts a bigger perspective on things in the trading world. So it's more about balance and things like that. He trades, he understands traders, he coaches traders, but I've always found that Dr. Howell kind of puts me in a sort of place of zen, all right? And again, I discounted that, but now it's really important that I'm focused and alert, and really puts trading in perspective in relation to life. And while we want to be the best traders we could possibly be and put all our effort in, this bigger thing called life is, you have to put a balance in, and Dr. Howell really, helped me with that. All right, next part of my dream team. I can't say enough about this gentleman, Dr. Andrew Menaker.
And what I often will tell people is don't confuse technical analysis with actual trading. It's very different. Trading is really about risk management. How much money are you willing to spend to find out if your idea works or not, right? That's technical analysis, just basically looking at a chart and analyzing it and using a variety of variables, time, volume, or price action, and mashing that all together and coming up with different ideas. That's just technical analysis. Trading is very different. Trading is where the rubber meets the road. And most people, I think, are recognizing once they dip their toe in the water, it's technical analysis is not going to save them.
Love it. Thank you, Dr. Menaker, for everything that you do. And first of all, you can notice his just sort of calmness, and that resonates on me too. He provided sort of that emotional support when I was going through some rough times, and in the trading world, and he just was that sense of calmness where he realized that what, I don't have to be screaming or throwing mouses at like screens and things like that. Definitely provided the emotional support, and it sort of gives me confidence to get me out of sort of a rut. When I was in a rut, I would go to Dr. Menaker's videos and sort of watch them and say, you know what, I'm not bad. I just need to work on a few things and stuff like that. And kind of had sort of these healing properties. I don't know. I can't really explain it. Dr. Menaker is a very unique individual where it's sort of this aloof effect where you can't say, well, he does this, 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 right? It's not like a bullet type service that he provides. But in the end, he was a very big part of my dream team and certainly made my top 5. All right, so maybe I'm a little bit of a boomer compared to some of you age-wise, but back in the day, if you were trying to be a trader or just turn pro, rarely would a day go by where you didn't check out this doctor's blogspot feed, trader feed, Dr. Brett Steenbarger.
Resilience helps us traverse our learning curves. We're going to make mistakes, and even the best traders are often wrong close to 50% of the time. We want to use losses to make us better, not to tear us down.
Love it. Just in your face, Dr. S. I love it. His Blogspot trader feed, it was kind of old school. Back we didn't have all these, videos and things like that, but they were so powerful, and I still refer to them today. They're timeless, by the way. So, you could just check them out and check out Dr. Steenbarger online. There's a blog, spot feed. But it really had these little sort of storytelling nuances, which kind of hit you in the face sometimes, particularly after a bad day, and he would be writing something, kind of came across as if he was talking to you. Of course, he was talking to like the whole trader community, and a lot of hedge funds use it. I think it's a must for newbies. Just bear in mind that it's kind of old school, like blog style. But follow his work. He does a lot of video work and works for a lot of props and hedge funds now as well. So great for newbies. Takes a sort of a hedge fund approach to trading, but converts it to a style where newer traders can really get a lot of value out of too. All right, I really enjoyed it. His writings pretty much never get old. So thank you, Dr. Steenbarger, for helping me very early in my career too. He's the first sort of initial taste into trader psychology, which I sort of caught on to. So again, part of my dream team. All right, number 5. Last but not least, it's the modern day Mark Douglas. Got to go with Jared Tendler.
Right. A lot of the reasons that we don't follow rules, in the live market and the rules that you've spent hundreds, if not thousands of hours creating and or spending learning from other seasoned traders. It's just easy to have all that get thrown out the window because our emotions hijack our ability to follow it.
Love it. Love. I mean, we've had Jared on our podcast several times, and we consider him a good friend. I kind of feel he's like sort of the modern era of trader psychologist, and I love it. He keeps it real. Sometimes, when you go through the whole trader psychology thing, and there's several also mentions on this list too that Denise Scholl, and they're all great. Sometimes they can get a little too sort of. It's tough for me to resonate with them because there's a lot of neuroscience and things that go on, and you kind of have to read things twice. But Jared, he's like in your face, modern era trader psychology type approach to really help me in not just trader psychology and trade success, but also in sort of peak performance coaching, which I find great. I'm not sure if Jared knows that, or if you're watching, just want to pass that along. You've been a big help in that regard. I think he gets it. I kind of resonate with him, but he gets it. I mean, he tells about his personal struggles and challenges as a golfer, and also working in the world of poker, and also trading, things like that. So feel he resonates with me, just gets it. It's kind of that modern era flair to trader psychology. Love it. Very practical applications too in his work. The mental hand history work that I do kind of gets your hands dirty, right? And I like that. Sometimes when I'm working with traders, psychologists, it's a little sort of abstract, but Jared's like, get it on paper, get it on paper. So really helped me a lot, particularly in the last legs of my career here. I was getting into a little stalling where I was performing well, but I need to go to that next level. And I think Mr. Tendler certainly played a role in that. So there you have it. It's my trader psychology dream team. I love it. I couldn't have done it without them, without a question. And nowadays, a lot of the information you can get right online, YouTube, things like that. Back in the boomer days, you had to kind of scrape and, see if they were, open to having coffee or things like that. It was just, you had to meet them at Traders Expos, get a glimpse and stuff. So, but now it's so much easier. So take advantage of these things. I know if you're trading newer traders just starting out, and I've been there too. You just want the setups. Just give me the strategy. I'll execute. But don't underestimate the importance of trader psychology in your journey, particularly when you start to grow and you start increasing size, and the pressure gets a little tighter. You're going to need this dream team even more. All right. Thanks. I hope you got a lot out of this. Click on the link below. We just talked about Jared. I'll give you a link to his mental hand history work, and how you can basically scribble out your ideas as far as what your demons are, what your actions are going to take, and things like that. It's helped me a tremendous amount, and we'll share it with you in the link below. All right. Hope you enjoyed this one. I certainly did, and we'll see you next time.